I hope this is working. In just a minute I'll turn it back to make sure it's working. But I finally found the tape. It was such a shame I couldn't find it on the day before we left. But I finally found one of the tapes he sent me, and I didn't find it. I once left the tape with Bracha and Yaakov, so I took it back now. Let's have her standing here right next to me, playing with a pencil, not talking, so I just check her. Today is the day after Rosh Hashanah, Monday, September the 8th. Okay, now I'll go back to make sure it's working. Okay, now we're all set. What did I tell you? Let's see. First of all, I'll tell you about Rosh Hashanah. We have a very, very nice Rosh Hashanah. We were at Bracha and Yaakov, I went only on condition that I would cook at least half the food. And I didn't want to stay in the house because it was so confusing and so busy. So we stayed downstairs because the people who live there now, where we used to live, weren't there. And they gave permission that we would stay there. And it was a good thing we went because Bracha didn't feel too good. She had just on Rosh Hashanah, she got a very terrible ear infection. And apparently it's very, very painful. She had fever and pain. So it was good I was there to help her take care of all the children and to cook and everything for Rosh Hashanah. But I really enjoyed myself. I don't know. I felt extremely good. I felt very good and strong, and it was nice playing with all the children. And it was nice. It was a nice holiday. Let's have a drop something. I'm going to pick it up. A4? -5. -5. The kid was such a cutie. I'm going to try and get her to talk. Now when she's next to me, she's shy. But she walks around the house yelling and screaming. Sometimes she screams. I can hear her when I get off the bus. That's what she says. She wants to eat the microphone. As usual. Now that I finally I really do have a lot to tell you, but I'm trying to think. I just got back from the doctor again. I have to go every 2 weeks with the slip. I don't know. I guess everything's okay. I have a little bit of blood pressure isn't very high, but I'm doing everything we're supposed to do. Eating without salt. Today gave me some kind of pills. I have to go pick them up. And I feel fine in the meantime. Hope everything will be okay. I'm not worried though. Just a minute. Oh, the most important thing, how could I have even left it till now? Tomorrow, finally, we'll be moving into our new apartment. The lawyer got there and everything is set up, and we'll be moving in. It's a very, very nice apartment. I told you, didn't I, that I was there to see it one night last week. And I was so surprised because everyone gave me the impression, Elliot gave me the impression that I couldn't expect too much, that it's a small apartment. I didn't care anymore, just as long as I had a place to live. And that it's not very big and it's not very nice. And I saw it and I was so shocked. I was so surprised. It's really a beautiful apartment. I guess it has a backyard and a front yard, a little front yard, and enough room for you to stay with us for sure. And it's very convenient there. I'll tell you why. First of all, it's right next to a bus stop, very close to the bus stop, and the bus runs every half hour, and you know exactly when it's going to come. So you go out just before the bus is supposed to come. Not like in Yerushalayim itself, where you can wait. Either the bus comes right away, or you can wait for a half hour till the bus comes. And this particular bus goes right into the city, right into the city, and right to the street, and it's very convenient. And just a minute, we'll have to the car to make sure it's okay from here on. Okay, it seems to be okay, so I'll continue talking. Now I have to try and remember what I was telling you. I was telling you about my apartment and how convenient it will be for you to live there. Hopefully, pretty soon we'll be able to, within the next few days we'll be able to rent a van I was hoping there would be a cheaper way to do it, but I guess this is the safest way, and just to get everything over there already. And we'll bring all of our things, including the piano, and apparently we'll be able to. These apartments come furnished, but we asked that and they didn't really want to give us, the people who aren't New Orleans, they didn't want to give us the furniture so much, which is fine with us because we have our own furniture. We don't need the beds and we don't need the kitchen furniture. It even comes with a heating refrigerator and gas and burners, which we don't need. So they said they'll leave out all the furniture, which is fine. Then they said that if you want something, like if you want one of the pieces of furniture, then ask, and there's a possibility that they'll leave that particular piece of furniture. It began to turn out that they got all confused with the administration of the Northwest Creek Time. They said, well, we'll leave all the furniture, you take what you want, and then later we'll put the rest in the storage. Anyway, it seems that we'll be able to have a couch. I don't know how nice it is, I didn't see the furniture, and chairs. So we'll have a real living room, piano, and furniture. I guess it should be nice there. And we'll be right next door to very good friends of ours. The houses are together. One side of them is in common, attached. And the backyard is one big backyard for both. There's a little fence, very low fence that separates them. They'll be able to make a garden there, and the kids will be able to play outside. It's very, very nice. It seems to be very convenient. And right off the kitchen is also a little repair set. I told you before, when you see it soon enough, by the time we get to take, you'll be packing already to come, and then you'll see. Let me see. What else should I tell you? I can't remember all that I said that got erased. This isn't a very good idea. I guess I should just keep talking. Yaakov went away for Rosh Hashanah. I told you, we went to Beit Ha'Arts Club. It's like a resting place. It doesn't have good connotations when you say it in English. It's not an old age home or anything, but it's a place where you go, like a nice hotel where you sort of stay over. I don't know, it's near Haifa that he went. And he was feeling, he says, he was depressed around Rosh Hashanah time and lonely. And he hasn't been feeling well lately. He just got over the flu. And he has friends there, and it turns out we have family there. Some relatives of the Sareeds, I think he said. And he wants to get away. So I was glad. I think it's a fantastic idea. You should get away, and you should do some touring there in that area. It's beautiful. I've never been in Haifa, but I've heard it's nice. And you should meet new people. And get away from Laban David, I suppose. He also, that was part of his intention. And I told him if we would have been in our own place, he could have come to us for Rosh Hashanah. But he said, no, it doesn't, I don't know. As soon as we get settled, I'll get him over there, especially when you're there. So, I don't know, he said he has reservations for 10 days. It means he'll come back by the end of the week, before Yom Kippur. He went a little bit before Rosh Hashanah. Few days before, but he said he might not stay the whole time if he gets bored or if he doesn't like it. So I haven't heard from him, so I suppose he's still there. Tomorrow I'll call at work and see if he came back. And Aunt Betty for sure has been coming. She sent him a telegram. Finally, he wrote her a lot of letters to find out, and she never answered. At the end, he sent her a telegram, and she answered the telegram with a telegram, and she said a letter of explanation would follow. But he hasn't received any letter yet, as far as I know. So what else should I tell you? How was your Rosh Hashanah? Where were you? What did you do? Did you have a family dinner? I don't know how much family is really still left there. That reminds me, thank you so much for sending all those pictures in the magazines and the articles. And I was especially excited to get the pictures that you took, because first of all, I was so surprised the backyard has changed so much since I last saw it. I can't believe that there's really a tree there and two trees from what I saw. And And the stained glass windows, they're really beautiful, Daddy, really colorful wood. I keep staring at them, and I can't understand how you made the challah and the tablecloth. It seems so intricate. I have to look at it again. Ellie was also trying to figure it out. We have to look at it again. And the garden looks beautiful, really beautiful. That reminds me, I told you, every letter you write about your garden, it makes me sort of jealous, because I wish you would have seen ours. Ours also was beautiful. I don't know if it was as big as, I think so. I think we had plants as high as that. They were higher than me, I think. They were big, enormous tomato plants. We had such enormous tomatoes. Before we left, they were in the prime of their season. We didn't get to reap all the fruits. We left, and they were in the middle of the season. But what we did get were enormous, and we got so many, dozens and dozens and dozens. At least they were very good seeds, very good species, how do you say? Anyway, right before we left, we picked all that we could, even those that weren't completely ripe. They were so big, they were like grapefruits, the tomatoes. And we brought them in bucketfuls and all kinds of boxes we filled with tomatoes, and we brought them with us to Yerushalayim to show off. And we gave all our friends and all the family we gave them each a bucket full of tomatoes. Also the cherry tomatoes, I like them even better. They were delicious. I like them when they're sort of sour, anyway, they were really fantastic. And the flowers you saw pictures of, aren't they gorgeous? I really miss them. And our cucumbers also we had at the beginning, very big, enormous cucumbers, very crispy. But towards the end, I think they also sort of died. I don't know, maybe Ellie didn't take such good care of them. And the cantaloupe and the watermelon and the rest of the things, I think we also had green pepper. That, I hope someone's taking care of it now so that they'll at least be able to benefit from it. We really only got to plant and take care of the things, but to benefit from all the products that we leave to the people after us. Oh well. This time in this place I also want to make a vegetable garden. I hope it works out. Even though there's plenty of time to think about it, you don't start planning till about the springtime. And then I suppose I'll be busy. I don't know, we'll see. What else should I tell you? Right now the Trevor is playing with Uri. She especially likes Uri. She likes everyone but me, I think. Lately she doesn't like me so much. I don't know why. I guess for her I'm the symbol of going to bed and changing her diaper. And for amusement, she has plenty of amusement with her grandparents here and with our uncles. I get in this really conflicts, but the minute we're back at our own house, I'll take things in order. She'll like me again. What else should I tell you? I could talk about the Cheva, the whole trip. I wanted to tell all the rest of the things first, but I'll tell you about the Cheva. She's really a cutie, and she walks all over the house. You know, you wanted me to take pictures of her first steps. Well, I don't really know. She really never had first steps. For about a week, she would walk maybe a step and sort of fall. You really couldn't even tell that she was walking. She would sort of go from a chair to a table, and she would sort of fall on the table, and there would be like a step in between. But even that she never did it when we wanted her to do it. She never did it when we had her hands up. She always did it. I lots of times caught her doing it privately when he's not around. She's like a perfectionist. She doesn't fall down ever. She doesn't do anything that she thinks she might fall down. She waits until she masters it, and then she does it. For instance, her walking. I used to see her walk on the mirror here. She thought no one could see, but I saw on the door there's a glass and it reflected. She used to walk a lot, but the minute I came out and wanted her to walk, or anybody, she wouldn't do it. But then all of a sudden one day she walked across the house, and since then she hasn't stopped walking up and back. She never really went through an in-between stage. But it's so funny. She's really so cute. I took her one day to the park, and I took pictures of her walking. The movie camera, for some reason, didn't work at all. I scotch taped that piece on, and I put a whole new roll of film in, and I was showing you how to work it, and I saw, and I studied it carefully. And then when I went to press the thing down, nothing happened. I don't know what I did wrong. So I managed to get that fixed, and I was so disappointed. But luckily I had a still camera for whatever it's worth. And since we ran out of film, I bought Israeli film. So I hope it comes out as good as Kodak. I didn't buy Kodak because I wanted it just then, and there wasn't any Kodak. They only had the Israeli film, so I bought that. Not Israeli film, Artsa it's called. I guess it's American film also. Anyway, I took pictures, and they're very cute, and she was so funny. So with her two tricks now, which are climbs and everything, and walking, she's very, very busy. And while she's walking, she talks. She talks all day long, non-stop, all kinds of blah, blah, babbling and screaming, and sometimes she screams so loud. She has a new thing now where she screeches. I don't know what to do about it. She sounds like Tarzan, and you think the worst thing happened, and you run out of the room, and she's standing there beaming, very proud of herself. I'll try and get her later on the tape. Right now, I think someone's feeding her. Yeah, that sort of gets me angry. They feed her day and night. And I guess it must be a grandparent trait. But I don't like it because she's really fat. I don't know if the picture that you sent me, she was still not very fat. She used to be very, very skinny and very small. And then suddenly she started gaining weight, and she was fine, like the pictures that you saw. But she keeps getting fatter and fatter, and she has a big round face and double chin and a big fat belly and rolls of fat everywhere. And maybe it's cute, or maybe that's the way she's supposed to be, or maybe that's normal for a baby. But at least, you know, if I had constant hashgacha, how do you say? If I was the boss around here and I was in with her, if she wanted to eat, I don't mind that she's hungry, but I would give her fruits and vegetables to eat. And here, every time, even before she asks, they give her a cracker, a cookie, pretzels, all the time to drink. I don't know, maybe I'm fussy, I don't know. But anyway, I don't want her to be fat. I want her not to always being fat. But even though she's very, very cute, and her hair is getting long, all of a sudden I didn't notice it until I saw those pictures that you sent, where her hair was so short and now it's so long, it keeps falling in her face. Her hair seems naturally to fall into bangs. I keep combing it to the side, and I bought a brush and I put it in. It's so cute. And it's long. It goes into not very long, I suppose, but it goes into little flips and curls. I don't think it's naturally curly, but when she falls asleep that way. But it's not yet straight. We'll see. When it gets a little longer, I'll be able to see better. And it's light brown, sort of a copper color. And when she's in the sun, it's really pretty. It's pretty color. And her eyes are brown. And when she smiles, she's so funny because she's so old, and she has all of one little tooth, which isn't even completely gone yet. But she manages to eat very well. She eats corn on the cob and all kinds of cookies and crackers and all kinds of things that you wouldn't believe. When we were at the Lebanon for Rosh Hashanah, so you could really compare her and Leah. Remember, he was born just a few days after her, a week after her, and they're so completely different. First of all, Leah is much less developed than she is motorically. How do you say it? You know, walking and things. He still doesn't walk and he barely stands. But he was always very underdeveloped in that sense. I don't know why, because Moshe, if you remember, Moshe was around Bathsheba's age when you were here, Mom. A little bit older. No, about the same thing. And he was a very, very developed. Now I think back, I remember he used to understand everything, and he used to almost talk, and he was really much more even than Bathsheba. He must have been something special. But Eliyahu, I remember Moshe walked even before he was a year old. But Eliyahu is not as efficient. What's the word? But he's developed in other ways. He's so different, you know. He's a very cute kid. He has blonde hair and brown eyes. And he's real skinny. You know, when she was there, I really saw how fat she was. He's skinny kid. He's real limp. What's the word? Limp. You know, he's real. He can do a lot with his body and everything. And she sort of wobbles back and forth. But he's also very cute. Even though they didn't play so much together, I guess at that age they don't have so much to do with each other. Everyone sort of plays by themselves. Except for the child is very aggressive. Whenever he had something she wanted, she took it from him. And he didn't take it back. He sort of, he's not a man. He used to look at the sugar, and look at bracha, and look at the sugar, and then just start crying. He was very cute. And Moshe, of course, is now very good. He's about 2.5 years old, and he talks, and he's like a little boy already, but he's really cute. He's very smart. And Yocheved, the little girl, is a little baby, very cute. And it seems so funny to me to think how our children was like that. I already forgot that they're such little babies. Anyway, it makes me get excited, and I have no patience to wait another 6.5 months. But the neighbors downstairs that live where we used to live just had a little boy about 2 weeks ago. So I went to visit them also. They're also friends of ours. And he's a real cutie. They're both Saudi from their parents are all from Morocco or Iraq, Oriental countries. And this little kid, he's brown with black hair. He looks so Oriental. It was so funny to see him, as opposed to, our babies were light, fair, even though the sugar wasn't, but you know the difference. And Chaya Yehudi's little girl, also, she's a big girl. Remember, she always was big. When you saw her also, she was a real cute baby, very tiny. Now she's almost 2 years old, about 1 year and 9 months. And she's cute. I don't know, Yes will say she's not as cute as she was when she was a little baby, but I can't see it. To me, she's very cute, and she has such a nice personality, like Yehudi. She's very sensitive and sort of quiet and very, very sweet. And the two little twins, I can't get over that. Every time I think she has twins. I saw them when they were just a few days old. I saw them in the hospital. The boy is blonde, like Judith. He's born with white hair. A lot of hair, but white. And I don't know, that's about all I can tell about him, because otherwise he looked like a scrunchy little baby. And the girl looked just like him, except she has black hair. But who knows what it will be. Anyway, they're finding everything, but they were born little, so they're keeping them in the hospital until they get to a certain weight. Which should be within the next few days, but in a way it's good for you, because she had 2 weeks to rest up and prepare for them. I told you, she didn't know that she was going to have twins. They never found it out, and I just read an article where that happens very often. Almost a third of the time, they never know, they can't detect you have twins. Usually they detect by hearing 2 heartbeats. But if one lies in a certain position over the other, then they don't hear the second heartbeat. And that's how it happened with her. So that just before she gave birth, 15 minutes before she went into delivery, they told her that they think she has twins. It was a shock, because at the time she didn't even know that she had twins in the family. Afterwards, her mother told her that her grandmother was a twin, or a great-grandmother or something. But before that, she didn't know. Can you imagine? She's very happy. They're both very happy and excited about it. And so is everybody else. Let me see. Now let's start getting nervous about the tape, huh? Just a minute. It seems that we'll be leaving the Hurwitz household just in time. What I mean is that any time, as early as it possibly be, will be just in time. We've been here already for such a long time. We were here about half a week, and then we were in Mesperet for a while, and then we've been here already 2 weeks. It's very hard when you're not in your own house. It's very hard for me, even though the regular relations, and there's no tension and everything, but still, I don't know, it sort of gets on my nerves after so long. But anyway, it's okay. I guess it's pretty ideal, and it's lucky that we have such good in-laws that are willing to stand us. I guess it must be harder even for them than for me. But anyway, but we're especially even just in time because the day after tomorrow, Frida and Didi, that's Rabbi Horvitz's sister and her husband from Chicago, are coming with their daughter. The daughter will be coming to learn in Shai Tzedek, like Joy, to be a nurse. And they're coming for a visit for a few weeks. So for a while they'll stay here. And then the day after they're coming, Hillel, that's Mrs. Horvitz's nephew, will be coming. I guess he'll also want to stay here. And so there's a lot of company. Plus all the holidays. And you know, for the holidays, they're never home. They go to the yeshiva, where the Horvitz studies with his students. So it means moving around and this and that and shifting people around and here and there. So it'll be good to be out of here for all that confusion, and good for them also. Then after all that company leaves, soon after Sukkot, Toby will be coming back, and that brings us to when you'll come. I guess you and Toby will be coming around the same time. Did she get in touch with you? I hope so. I asked her to, but maybe she forgot, or maybe she's very busy. They got in everybody today. She's busy traveling and visiting people and, of course, shopping. But you don't have to apologize that you don't have the money to bring us over there.
בשבע, תגידי משהו.
תגידי משהו לצא. איך עושה כלב? איך עושה כלב? תמיד לא תגיד שום דבר. איך עושה סוס? סוס?
איפה אבא? איפה אבא?
איפה סבא? מי זה? דוד? דוד. זה בת
Oh wow, the tape is really coming to an end.
1, 2, 3, 4.
When she sees the tape recorder, she's more interested in playing with the buttons and eating the microphone than anything else. She's really good now. She plays with toys. I think toys must be a very important part for them. It's like for them reading and learning. And I try to buy all kinds of educational toys and interesting toys, and I try not to make them too hard for her level, because that just frustrates her. And then when it comes time that she can do it, it's not a new toy for her, so it's not so interesting for her. But lately I haven't been buying her because such a schlep. But I really want to get her some good basic, the basic toys, blocks and things like that I don't even know. I suppose I should buy a book on it or something. I see the Bracha, Moshe has all kinds of toys, and Batsheva likes so much playing with them. But even she has a lot of toys, and of course books she loves. It's such a pleasure to see the way she comes over and she wants me to read her from a book. But she's not so interested in my reading the book. She wants to see the pictures and turn the pages. Her thing is turning pages. Not even so much as looking at the pictures. She likes to turn the pages. But still, it's nice that she's interested in books and everything. And Uri has a lot of, when he was a little kid, all kinds of English books. So she tears a lot of things, and they're all old, so no one cares if she tears out the pages. But we've been buying her some nice Hebrew children's stories and saving them, I guess, for when she gets older. And the tape is really running out now. What should I tell you? Ellie is running late tonight. That's one of the bad things here. I don't see him during the day. But I'm busy enough. When we get to Mesperet, I will see him. He'll be able to come home. Oh, that's what I started to tell you. Some of the things I told you when I made the tape the first time that I forgot to tell you. But in Mesperet, it'll be very easy for me because that way it's very close to where he learns, and it's walking distance, and he'll be able to leave later in the morning and come back in the afternoon for lunch and to take a nap, and then go back to learn and come back in the evening, and then whatever plans he has in the evening, each night it's something else, because sometimes there's classes that he doesn't want to miss, and sometimes there's different activities. Something happens with the washing machine, but so it seems to be very convenient there. I'm really looking forward to moving in finally. I just hope by the time you come we'll be all settled. That's my goal, that by the time you come everything will be done, every nail in place, every picture hung. But even if not, it doesn't matter, we'll be there, and that's the important thing. Let me see, what else should I tell you? You asked in one of your letters why, if the man that's renting our apartment, if he's not there anyway, and if he's sick, why we couldn't go in and live there and in the meantime fix up the place. Well, the reason is because, according to the contract, in any contract, if you rent an apartment from someone, it's your apartment. We really have no right to walk in there without his permission. He was very nice, I suppose, even though I don't know why he wouldn't agree, but it was nice to let us put all our things there, because it takes up 2 whole rooms. But he's a little odd anyway, and even though he's not living there, he wouldn't give us permission. He didn't want for us to make a mess, and he didn't want us to ruin his things, even though he said we won't. Anyway, so that's his right. We'll just have to wait till he moves out, which apparently seems that he doesn't want to move. He doesn't want to leave before his contract is up, and so we'll have to wait till he leaves before we can start working there, fixing it up. But it shouldn't be a problem. Ellie will get some friends to help, and we'll fix the place up a little bit, and we'll work it out again next year. I don't know, did I tell you that we had problems? Maybe I didn't tell you, because I didn't want to tell you while it was still going on. We had it was so scary. Actually, it wasn't. I know everything would turn on in the end. We took a loan, as every Israeli does, it's a loan to buy a house. Because as I said, when you buy a house here, you have to pay cash. Now homes cost £250,000. No one has £250,000 in the bank account just like that. Things here are enormously expensive. So there's all kinds of plans through the government. And like, for instance, I was in the IMS, so I had a special benefit to take a special kind of loan out. With us, then it was, things were cheaper then. Our apartment cost us just £88,000. We got a £60,000 loan from Tfachot, that's the name of the place, which every month we have to pay a couple of £100, and for 17 years I think it is, and it's very low rate of interest, and that's how we pay off the loan, and with that money we were able to buy the apartment. Well, anyway, we paid every month. In fact, we paid a year ahead of time. We thought, well, if we had the money, so we had money saved up, we paid it all in advance because
Oh, ha ha! She's being funny. Can he cook? I won't go that far. But we would love to know what he looks like. But from the way you talk about him, he must be something special.
Well, how about sending a snapshot?
And, Mina sent us a snapshot. Did you hear Uncle Sidney yelling? How about sending a snapshot? Mina sent us a picture of her and Oded. And, if you can ever corner him for a picture with your new camera, we would love to see it.
Good English.
The picture, it and him. And that's about all I can think of to say right now, because my hand is getting tired holding the mic. So that will be all for now, Deb.
As I was saying on the other side of the tape, I didn't realize it had stopped, so I kept talking and talking and talking. And then I realized it stopped. Danny chose Rabbi Brandis for the rabbi, which is a good choice because Rabbi Brandis really knew him since he and Toby and Naomi Oken were such good friends all those years, so I guess that Rabbi Brandis was a good choice. So, anyhow, they can't get married June 26th. And I asked Paul Mandel, because he knows everything, and he thinks that they can't get married from the second week of July to the end of July. So if you can make it in then, before, when they, let me know how soon you can make it in, because everything's up in the air. Anyhow, they're going to go try to see Rabbi Branders before they go back on Sunday and see if they can set a date, and then we'll know more of what's going on and so forth. And now Stanley and Jean are fighting about the wedding, because Jean's mother would like to have I haven't talked to her about it yet, we'll talk tomorrow, a sit-down dinner, but with just a small amount of people, like 40 or 50 people. And Stanley doesn't want to sit down dinner. He hollers it's too formal. He wants where you can go up and stuff your face, and I can't make Stanley understand that older people don't like that they like to have a sit-down dinner. And only what makes it big and gaudy is when you have a lot of people, and it's a big, big affair. But when it's a small affair, it's still intimate if you have sit-down and you can mingle and so forth. So I don't know. We'll talk more about it Saturday night when we go over to Jean's folks. But I'll write you a letter. I think I'll sit down now. It's only like 2 o'clock in the morning. We just didn't have a second Seder. We just had a family dinner, the leftovers, and I think if people came back tomorrow, we'd still have the leftovers to eat. Oh, can you hear me still burping? Well, anyhow, I'll write you more, and I'll leave room on the tape for Stanley and Jean, and if Brian comes back tomorrow, I'll get him to tape, I hope.
Hello? I don't know, you're never talking to a microphone before. We're just listening to the end of the tape. Mom was telling me we're going to have Rabbi Branders and the whole thing, and that didn't happen. We went to see Rabbi Weintraub today. So that was funny. I had to introduce myself as your brother again, as usual, whenever it comes to this kind of business. So anyway, we went to see him, and he seems like a nice man. A little bit too, well, like I told everybody else, I couldn't relate to him really well, but he seems okay, so probably he's going to be the guy we're going to have do the wedding. Let's see, what else?
For the day.
As for when it's going to be, nobody knows yet, because it all depends on which school I go to and whether I have to go to summer school at MIT, or whether I have to go to summer school at the place that I'm going to go to graduate school at, and when they start. And also now it's a problem because all that stuff is going to work out right in the middle of July. So now it turns out that's the 3 weeks, right when it seemed like it was going to be possible to have a wedding, that's the 3 weeks that that you can't have a marriage or a wedding or whatever it is. I can't remember. What is it? Tisha B'Av or something like that?
Right.
So who knows when it's going to be now? Maybe the end of June, which may be a hassle for you. I don't know what is. Maybe June 18th. But that's a bit on the early side. And if not then, it'll probably be at the end of August or maybe even in the beginning of September, after summer school is completely ended and before I start classes.
And when she leaves Springfield.
Oh yeah, when you leave Springfield, naturally. After you leave. Naturally. So what else? Oh yeah, and then in terms of the wedding, it's probably going to be a little informal thing at Jean's house. Maybe with a kiddush at the shul, if we have the wedding in the shul. We're hassling that out now. Yeah, it is simpler than what it is.
Tell me about that.
Don't tempt me.
It costs you a fortune in terms of presents.
Yeah, I know.
It's better to have a wedding.
Better in your house to have a wedding.
So anyway, that takes care of the wedding.
Since you're going to be living off of a stipend, that little bit helps.
Yeah. So, I don't know what else to tell you.
They ask you to do something.
Alright.
Except we could just,
Well, now they'd need all the
There's just a lot of things we need. Yeah, just a lot of things we need.
If you get them, you have to transport.
Yeah, we don't want to get too much big stuff because of
so anyway, while they're talking in the background, I don't know what else to tell you. In Boston, everything's going fine. I got a job. It's a really neat job. Except the only hassle is finally when I find a decent job, I got to quit it. It's ridiculous. I work at Fernald, which really worked out well because Gene and I can drive to work together in the morning. And when I work in a research building where they're building these teaching machines to develop, first to learn how people learn, and then to develop programs to teach people in a more efficient way, and teach normal people in a more efficient way, and to teach retarded kids that they haven't been able to teach well at all. So there are these programs, and it's a complicated machine, and I'm sort of like a handyman that repairs it and designs small parts of it and troubleshoots some of the electronics, stuff like that. So it's a really interesting job, and I've been learning a lot of electronics, which I always wanted to do because it would come in handy. Also, it's sort of medical, biomedical applications of electronics kind of stuff.
Tell me what you plan to do when you go to school. I'm interested.
You want to hear? Okay, I'm supposed to tell you what I plan to do when I go to school so everybody else understands. I don't know. I don't know if I told you. I'm going to go back to school. I've gotten accepted so far. The letters from other schools are probably waiting for me when I get back. But so far I got accepted at Ohio State and to the biophysics department and into St. Louis in the molecular biology department. And in Ohio State, the big thing there, in general, the kind of problems you can deal with in biophysics and molecular biology and biochemistry or whatever, they're all so closely related you can't really distinguish. But the kind of things they can deal with are things like large molecular structures, like the structure of DNA and RNA molecules, or you can deal with the structure of individual proteins, and, actually that's what it is, individual proteins and enzymes and how they interact, and how they work together to build new proteins. You can deal with the structure of, just like the cells in large cellular, I forget what they call that, large cellular structures, like cell membranes, not cell membranes, like membranes in your body that are like layers of cells thick, and how, like in a blood vessel, how like the hemoglobin and stuff gets through the wall of the blood vessel and to where it's going, and how it gets through the wall of the cell into the cell, stuff like that. So they deal with those kind of problems in a physical way, like what's the crystalline structure of the cell, of the wall, and how do things travel their way through? You know, if you consider it like the wall's a rigid body of a bunch of cells in a row, how does something, it doesn't just walk through. How does it get through? And it has collisions with things in the way, and where does it bounce to, and what's the probability that it makes it through, and what kind of quantum effects maybe happen? I don't know that much about it. So that kind of problem. They also deal with, you can also get more biochemical, which I don't know, I can't even talk about. Let's see, what else do they do? They do other things like applying physical techniques to understanding biological systems, like they use X-ray crystallography to analyze things, electron microscopy to analyze things, and all that involves a lot of physics and quantum mechanics and all that kind of business. Also, what I was going to say before, at Ohio State, what they're really big on is vision problems. Like, how do you see? What happens in the back of your eye that makes you capable? How does the electromagnetic radiation that's coming from the light source that you're looking at stimulate the back of your eye? I mean, there's some kind of electromagnetic interaction that goes on. What is it? And how does it send an impulse to your head from that? And even when it sends it, how does it get to your head? And where does it go in your head? And things like that. Or even how does your eye? Never mind. I don't know that much about that. Anyway, things like that. That's what they're big on at Ohio State, is vision problems. Brian got accepted to Maryland Biochemistry Department with a nice fellowship as usual. So that's what in St. Louis. I don't really know what they're good at. And the department isn't a department; it's a committee.
What other schools is it?
So that you can take courses or work for anybody in the whole university. So you're not restricted to just people in the molecular biology department, since it's not a department. So in terms of what they're concentrating on, I don't know. So they were among the first people to synthesize DNA. I think they synthesized it. Yeah, one of the first people to isolate it, I guess. So I don't know. Maybe that's the big thing in St. Louis. I haven't really found out yet. The other place I applied to that I haven't heard from, well, I applied to Harvard and got rejected, and I applied to Wisconsin and got rejected, and Where else?
Buffalo.
I haven't heard from Buffalo yet, so we don't want to go there. And I haven't heard from Michigan yet. And I don't know that much about Michigan, so I don't know whether I want to go there or not. What else?
Gene talk.
Is there much room left?
Yeah.
There's plenty of room. Yeah, so Gene will say something.
I don't know exactly what to say, but Stanley and I have been working on trying to make the wedding plans and stuff, and Stanley told you pretty much what's been happening. We're trying to work out a date so we can get the invitation set out, and we'll try to talk to you so we'll know when you can be here, you know, because I really want you to come. And other than that, Stanley and I are both taking courses, so we'll be ready to leave. I'm going to be leaving my job, and I've been getting information from Stan and people he knows at the schools to try to find a job there and writing letters and stuff, and I'm really excited about leaving and going to a new job and stuff. And while I've been here, I'm taking this course to get certified so I can find a job easier when we move. And I've been testing all these kids. I wish you had been around. You would have been able to get me some new kids to test. But I've been testing kids at my sister's apartment, giving them this intelligence test because I have to learn how to do it for the course. I've been sitting there for hours while Stanley's been having a good time giving all these stupid tests. And I don't know what else to say. What else? Hey, Debbie, it's me again. We really like getting your letters. Sorry we don't write back better. Go on, you tell us some more. Your sister writes great letters. You write great letters, Debbie.
Yeah, so you should write some more. If we don't write back, it's just because...
It's not because we don't like hearing about it. Right.
Yeah, but she likes to get letters.
Yeah.
Like her father, he writes lots of letters.
I wrote it once. No, I didn't either. I talked on tape with him. I was
A
fighting.
couple of times, yeah. Yeah.
We'll talk to her now.
Okay.
So I don't have anything else to say. I don't know. See you soon.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
This is Monday after Pesach. This is Monday, April 3rd. Anyhow, yesterday Mrs. Mern Clayton told me she's leaving April 10th, and I wish I was going with her. So I thought I would hurry up and finish this tape because if I give it to her today, it'll get to you sooner than if I mail it. So I'm going to finish the tape now and then run to the bank and get some money. You asked for $50, and I think I'll send you $100 because you don't have your return ticket from Israel to wherever you're going. Let's see, I got so much to tell you. Well, Nessie, I spoke to Nessie yesterday, and she's leaving for Israel May 15th. So keep in touch with your Haskell so that you can see Nessie while you're there. I'm sure she'll call you, but it's easier for you to call her than she call you because, as I gather, your phone is always busy. And Nessie said that she'll have room to take things back for you. So why don't you gather up your winter clothes and give her as many as she can take to bring back so you'll have that much less to pack or to schlep. And Mrs. Clayton also said that she was going to make arrangements for Martha to hook up with a tour or something to tramp Europe on her way back. And I told her that I thought that would be nice for you. Because either Stanley gets married June 18th, which don't get upset. It's going to be a small wedding, and he would like to have you come, but he wants to get married between Boston and grad school. And if he goes to summer school in the grad school, then he'll have to get married the 18th of June. So there's no big deal about you flying back for that or anything like that. Don't be too hurt. It'll be a small wedding, and you'll make up for it at Brian's wedding if you should ever get married. So don't worry about that. I would rather you see Europe and everything. Otherwise, Stanley can't get married until the 3rd week of July, and if it's that date, I think they're going to wait until like Labor Day weekend. So we'll know more in another week or so I'll let you know as soon as I know. But in the meantime, you go ahead and see Europe while you can. We're still anxiously waiting your decision. But don't forget, get rid of as much clothes as Nessie can take back so you'll have that much less to carry. And if you do decide to go to Barnard, Aunt Will says you'll need the sheets and the towels, so bring them back. But any kind of deodorants and shampoos and stuff like that, leave over there with with the Youngsters family or the Greenwolf or the Hurwitzes, or just, divide it up. Don't bring home the soaps and stuff like that, because it's just a gift to everybody for being so nice to you. Also, I asked you to ask Yassel if he'll come to the States this year. It would be nice if he did. If Stanley gets married late, where he could make it and you could make it, that would be great to have him. So, I was talking to the Claytons, and it sounds like Martha's going to the Stern. I was surprised. I thought she was going to go someplace else. And where have you finally decided to go? Have you found out if you do go to Mithla, whether an American university or America would accept a degree there or something like that? Remember when I was talking to you about that, I hesitated about you going to Mithla for that reason. But still, I would still like you to go to a co-ed school. Even though Barnard is a girls' school, you do have much co-education. And Maryland's not bad. Isn't that exciting that Brian got accepted to Maryland? Now that he got accepted to Maryland, he doesn't know whether he's going to go or not. He said it was more fun, the anticipation or the thinking about it, than going. I really have run out of things to say, except that it was cute having Stanley and Jean here, and Jean so anxious to talk about the wedding, and Stanley's not anxious at all. He would just rather go to the rabbi and get married, and that's it. He doesn't want to have anything. And Jean's mother just refuses to talk about it. She's something like Grandma. She doesn't want to admit she's old enough to have a daughter who is getting married, and she wants to be in Stanley and Jean's generation because she's going to school to get her master's degree, and she would like to be young and hep and so forth and so on. So we got along very nicely. We went over there Saturday night for dinner, and we're just like old friends. I mean, we just sit in, and Jean's father reminds me a lot of Uncle Stanley. He looks something like him. His head is shaped something like him, and his mannerisms, I can't put it on, but he has a lot of the same mannerisms that Uncle Stanley has. So I can't wait until Uncle Stanley comes east and they meet each other. They really could be brothers in many ways. They don't look alike, and yet they do look alike. So, golly, I thought the case was almost over, and there's a lot more. So I might as well tell you that Nancy had a real long talk to her. Oh, today is the 4th of April, yeah. And her brother is supposed to arrive tomorrow in Israel. Did you ever get in touch with your high school Lena again? So I guess there's big excitement over there, so Nessie's busy shopping. And the reason I know she'll have plenty of room to bring things back is because they take all the clothes that they're going to take over, they're going to leave there. They're buying all sizes of shirts and dresses and stuff like that, and they're going to leave it for the people that came from Russia, because she says where they lived in Russia they never had a summer there, so they don't have any summer clothes. So Nessie's going to take over a lot of things, and she said the last time she came back, all she had was the dress she had on and a few personal items in her suitcase, so she said that she would be glad to bring anything back. So as much as she'll take, and she'll take a whole suitcase full, you can send your winter coat back or things like that. Unless you're planning on going there next year, well, by the time Nessie's ready to come back, you'll have decisions, then maybe you can leave all that stuff with Yassel or something. So you don't tell me anything about Yassel. How is Yassel? And why can't you get him to say a few words on the tape, huh? Oh, I really don't know anything else, and I hate to send the tape empty, but I want to run to the bank. I'm sending you $100 for you, and if it's not enough, because you have to buy your return ticket. But that would be nice if you tour Europe with Martha. And is Toby coming? But then if you go to work in the camp, you won't be able to tour Europe, because Mrs. Abigail wants you here like the 1st of July, the latest. And I would much, much rather see you tour Europe, because if you do come here next year for school, goodness knows when you get back or have the opportunity to see the rest of the world. And since you're there already, you might as well. But if you do tour Europe, you travel very light. Take just a few clothes and ship everything else back. And make arrangements now. Make your plane reservations to come back, and make reservations for your trunks and stuff like that. Get all the arrangements done now before you start with all your exams. Mrs. Craven was explaining that you're through school by the end of May and June is only exams. So that you should really in April make all these arrangements. Time is getting short, you know. We're so anxious. We're looking forward to seeing you when you come back, and we really do miss you a great deal. And we've got so many surprises for you. I'm just bursting to tell you, but I won't till you come back. And don't ask me because I'm not going to tell. I swear everybody's a secrecy, so nobody's going to tell you any of the surprises. And then I guess pretty soon we'll be busy with the excitement of Stan and Jean's wedding. Although, really, there's nothing much I could do. It's all up to Jean's mother. But I do know they're going to get the invitations out as soon as Stan and Jean decide on the date. And then, you know, they need so many things. You know what would be nice? It would really be touching if you made Stanley a pretty yarmulke for him to get married in, huh? Wouldn't that be nice with his name Shalom in it? Wouldn't that be pretty for him to get married in? That would be touching. They said if they get married in the backyard, Jean wants to make her own hook, but she wants to embroider it and put flowers on it. And Daddy and I were trying to tell her that wasn't as important as other things. But I don't know. She was so excited in such a daze after coming back and talking to Rabbi Weintraub. And Stanley says the rabbi didn't turn him on. I said, but unfortunately the rabbi doesn't know him. You know, he hasn't been in town, so Rabbi Weintraub doesn't know him as well as he knows us and you. Because for I was thinking about Brandis, but I think he'll like Rabbi Weintraub better. And I think it'll be more personal. It looks like the tape is just about to the end. So goodbye, and we're looking forward to seeing you soon. And don't be disappointed if Stanley has to get married in June instead of waiting till you come back. But because there won't be very much, just a few people, and I can't even invite everybody I want to, just immediate family. So we'll see. So maybe when you come back, I'll have a big open house if Stan and Jean happen to come in a weekend or something like that, and you'll get to share in the excitement anyhow. All right, so take it easy, and please write soon about your decision and make all the arrangements, and if the Cravens can bring any stuff back, give them some. But Nancy said she'll be glad to take a lot, so see how much she'll take. And send my regards to everybody, and let Toby come anyhow if she can, and she doesn't have to work, and you and she can have some fun seeing the neighborhood and the friends and everything like that. Okay? Well, it's still going. If I can't see any more tapes, these recorders, they should have a way to tell you when it's just about to an end. So take it easy, and we love you, and don't get... I played the tape so you could hear Daddy's voice, even though he won't talk into it because he's so shy. That he just... I don't understand. I'm glad you know your family, because he just won't...